Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Symphogear Season 1, Episode 7. So, guess what, guys? Miku saw! She saw it! Oh, I knew at some point she was gonna find out the truth, whether it be from someone telling her or her seeing like this. This is like the typical, like, superhero kind of reveal where it's like, trying not to tell her for her own sake, but then they just end up seeing the person out in the field and being like, oh, I know now. But now we get to find out how she takes it. So we'll see that. We also got a brief glimpse of Chris's traumatic past and her abandonment issues and stuff like that. So we'll see if eventually wow, Hibiki can. I just like totally forgot names all of a sudden. If Hibiki can break through that, no, shut up, alarm. That tough exterior, and uh, you know, I lost my train of thought. And get to Chris, and maybe I don't know about converting her, but maybe get her to say at least like one less swear word to Hibiki. We'll see. But anyway, I'm just excited to watch, so let's get started, shall we? Alright, we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Yep. Ah. Alright. Pretty much right into the opening for the most part. Sorry for the crinkling of the bottle. I needed some watatata. Watatatata. Yeah, I just woke up from a nap, and I so just like my beard's like all messed up. And I had 2 alarms set. I always set 2 alarms because sometimes that first alarm just doesn't work. But this time it did. Okay, all my alarms are off. Okay, good. I wasn't even sure if there was another one. But that's right, I did wake up to the first alarm. Sometimes I don't wake up to either of the alarms, and then 2 go off, and it's like, ugh. Alright. It's a long title. Right into the singing. Oh my god, look at that! Bodied. Whoa. Oh. Yukine. Jeez. Alright, she trained in hand-to-hand, but I don't think she trained against a person, did she? Oh shit! She just exploded her armor off. Wait, what is this? Have we heard Chris sing at all? Ichi Ball? Oh, it's another relic. Okay. That's what I thought it was, that's why I wrote the name down. I mean, it makes sense. She can use multiple relics. Oh, shit! It just, like, zooms in a different part of the armor and there's just boobs. Is that a crossbow? That is a crossbow. A hand crossbow looking thing. Oh my god! Oh my, I could not read that. I'll have to go back. I already... That font is already hard for me to read. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just dumb. But... and then it flashed on the screen for like a quarter of a second. She has miniguns! Oh shit! Tsubasa, what are you doing here? You could barely walk like 2 seconds ago. Good god. Such a big sword. I want to see her wield that sword, other than dropping it from the sky. That would just be ridiculous. But this is anime. Yeah, those big guns like that aren't good in close quarters. Shit! Nice. Oh shit! Why? Is that helping her? That's the noise attack, right? Oh shit. Was this her doing? Sounds like she's been lied to. Oh shit, she's being abandoned. What is this? What is happening? Well, bye, Chris. What was it that disintegrated? Was that... Oh, they're finding info on Chris. Well, they got the full name now, so... Oh, Miku's being brought in now. Makes sense. Just talking to herself out loud. That's why you talk to yourself, because sometimes people answer. That's good. Oh. What about Miku? He has to sign an NDA. Nice. He says it while smiling. Ooh. Supporting her. Gonna go back to Miku. What? Oh. Interesting. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? That's not a happy to see you kind of sounding thing. Hmm. Well, if I told you, we'd have to remove a bunch of your freedoms, so... Interesting. Yeah, I heard her say that before, but I wasn't quite sure what it meant fully. He didn't even do anything! Yes. Aww. Cyclical protection. Following Chris a little bit. Oh, man. No. I'm glad they found him. No. That's what siblings do. Well, she not happy. Well, she... Oh. She's either reporting or recording. Jesus. Ooh. Nothing but her own power. Damn. If they can repeat what happened. Oh my god, look at that. Shit. I don't know if that was... At first it seemed ominous. I thought she was, like, recording her findings, but then she was just thinking about her findings, and now I don't know. Well, not great. Oh, who are these girls? Wait, we saw them before, right? Hmm. Well, they touched the nerve of the wrong person. They were trying to mess with Hibiki. What? Hmm. Well, shit. Did not go. That went worse than I thought. Oh shit! Wait, is it over? This is the ending, right? Damn. Well, shit. That felt quick. Was this episode maybe? Interesting. All right. Well, damn. Yeah, I mean, I thought there was a possibility that Miku would take it bad and she'd be mad. I didn't know it'd be. I thought she would be mad for like an amount of time, and I mean that still might be the case, but I didn't think she'd say like, "I don't think we can be friends." Like, damn, that's. I just wonder how like I wonder how they explained it to her because like I don't know. I do understand a bit of Miku's side of things, but at the same time, one, Hibiki was trying to protect her. Two, anyone that finds out has their freedoms restricted and stuff like that. And I don't know how restricted, but that alone is something I wouldn't want to thrust upon a friend, right? Um, and what she does is dangerous. I don't know. Oh, there is an after credits. That's why it was so short. Why is she always naked? I guess she's in her own home. Hello, hello! I love that. Just hang up on him. Jeez. Damn. Gear. Well, shit. That sucks. Poor Chris. Apparently, Chris thought she was a good guy. Seemingly, anyway. Well, damn. Alright, that is it for episode 7. Yeah, so my thing with Miku's anger and everything, like, yes, your friend lied to you, it's true, but what she's doing is saving people, stopping the noise and everything, and doing it under like a very very hush hush order and everything. Like, I don't know. I just think that there's some merit there, that it's like Miku's treating her like what she's been doing is horrible, right? Like, it'd be one thing if, I don't know, I can't even think of something like bad that, like, that wouldn't just be me over exaggerating, right? But like, I don't know. It'd be one thing if Hibiki was going out and like robbing stores or something, just a little bit of klepto in there, right? Uh, and that was a secret. That could be something that I could be. If she's out there like, drinking or doing drugs or something like that. That's like what she gets off to and stuff like that. And is what she's ditching her for. But I mean, what she's doing is for the betterment of society, right? Like, and she gets so angry about it that she wasn't told. Like, I understand they had this thing where they always told each other everything, but I don't know. It's just, I guess, like, from Hibiki's standpoint, what Hibiki could have done is be like, hey, I have this secret, but if I reveal it to you, you'll have to have your freedoms restricted, and like, explain what that means too, because I don't really fully know what it means to have their freedoms restricted like that, like it had to do to those people early on, and what all of this NDA that they had to sign entails and all that, and be like, hey, like, if I tell you, then you'll have to have this and that done, and all that. So do you want to know, or do you want me to just keep it to myself? Maybe she could have done that, and that way it could have been Miku's choice whether she finds out or not, rather than Hibiki taking that choice away from her, kind of thing. But for the most part, I don't know. I slightly feel like it's an overreaction, but that's me as a third party watching the show and knowing Hibiki a lot more than I know Miku, and only seeing a brief portion of their relationship together, which has spanned a lot longer than the time that we've spent in the show. So there's obviously some emotions there that I can't quite emote with and relate to, that Miku's feeling. So I'm not gonna say like, Miku, you're fucking wrong to be thinking this way. You're stupid. Like, I'm not gonna say that. But me personally, I think if I found out that my friend was secretly fighting these creatures that are killing people, and they're going around saving people, and she didn't tell me for my own good, I'd be a little bit like, maybe I'd be a little bit like, you should have told me, but I don't think I'd be like, I can't be your friend anymore, see ya, and run off, but we'll see. I'm sure there's going to be more conversations. I'm sure that's not going to be the end of Miku. If anything, we know that Miku goes to Hibiki's grave, right? So at the very least, maybe she forgives her after Hibiki dies, and we'll go see the grave and cry for her. So at least she's not like, we know she's not like done with her. But to the point where, because I mean, if you're done with someone, you're not going to cry over their grave, right? But yeah, I don't know. Either way, but definitely wasn't as satisfying of a reveal for me, because I was kind of excited for her to be in the know, and maybe she'll be a little bit mad at first, but maybe they'd be able to talk it out and she'd understand and stuff like that, and then we could go forward with Miku knowing and stuff like that, and their relationship could get better. But instead it went the opposite of getting better. But yeah, so we had Hibiki's hits are apparently as or almost as strong as Tsubasa's superb song, which is crazy. Now, obviously, we had that be the case, but then Tsubasa came in here and just beat Chris. Well, not beat her down, but did pretty well in a fight against her. So obviously there's form and there's technique, and then there's raw power. I think maybe like the raw power aspect is what Hibiki has with that ability she used, but Tsubasa is still refined and trained. Because I was thinking like, oh, does that mean Hibiki is now stronger than Tsubasa? But no, I don't think that's the case, because I think Tsubasa still has all that training, technique, and experience that Hibiki doesn't have quite yet. Obviously, she's been training a bit. She's gotten some experience, but Tsubasa's been doing this a long time. So I think there is still that, even though Tsubasa did talk about supporting Hibiki here, I do think there still is that bit of seniority where Tsubasa is a bit better, at least for now. But with the rate that Hibiki seems to be growing, it's very possible that Hibiki does surpass Tsubasa pretty soon. Especially because they're talking about the fragments possibly fusing with Hibiki and causing like extra strength and regeneration, healing, and stuff like that. That seems pretty crazy as well. And Sakurai is sitting there thinking to herself about how this could be like the next stage in evolution. And what Sakurai was saying was kind of interesting, because it sounds like, I mean, as a scientist, you're always like trying to progress and invent new things and come up with, new technologies, new ways of doing things. That's like probably the prime desire of like a scientist. But based off what I got from Sakurai and what the show has showed us so far, it seems like everyone's been trying to play catch up to what info there was back in this ancient civilization that used these relics to fight and everything, but a lot of info was lost, and they're all trying to like just figure things out that have already existed. But fusing a relic with a human is something that they have no knowledge of it ever being done before, which means, as she said, like, this is them progressing past their history and stuff like that. So they're trying to transcend what has happened before and go beyond that. So at first I got like ominous vibes of like, oh, is this her reporting to her superiors? But instead I think she's just like I mean, I do still think that there's something up with Sakurai. I'm not saying like there's nothing there, but at least that little monologue we heard inside her head, I feel like was mainly just seeing her scientific side being like piqued and interested and stuff like that. So, and kind of giving us, now the question I have is that image of that X-ray or whatever, is that like was that the like MRI? Because they did like an MRI kind of thing on Hibiki, right? And then we had Sakurai down in the lab talking to herself, and it showed it. And she said it's only a theory that it's merging to Hibiki. She didn't have any like proof or anything, it seemed like. So here it is. Let's see. But the image that we saw in her office was like a skeleton with like vines intertwined. Where was that? But yeah, it seems like Hibiki is also like a lot stronger. There it is, I found it. Yeah, so if this is her X-ray, that's insane how much it's, like, gone through the body. Now, I imagine that's not normal, right? Like, all of that going through the body. So I don't know if that's just her idea of what it would be like for a relic to take over the body, if she, like, mapped this out kind of thing. as like a possible state of evolution, or if it really is, if this is Hibiki's X-ray MRI thing that they did earlier, and she really does have this like sprouting all through her bone structure and everything. That's pretty crazy. But damn. Yeah, I don't know. It's certainly interesting though, and also just Sakurai's interest in everything makes it sound like she is gonna want to try to repeat this process. So I wonder if they're gonna try to put fragments of other, because she has fragments of Gungnir in her, right? Not fragments of the relic. That was something I was corrected on previously. I thought she had fragments of the relic in her, and that's what let her use the armor. But no, she has fragments of just the armor. So I wonder if they'll try to take fragments of the armor and put it in like other people. And the question is was Hibiki even a possibility for being an attuned before that? Or was she just a normal girl without any capabilities like that? Because it seems like they know like certain people are like potential candidates, like they talked about with Chris this episode. And you know, there's probably a lot of people that test wrong, or they're not potential candidates and stuff like that. So I wonder if Hibiki would have been like, if she was discovered earlier, would she have been a potential candidate? Or does this mean that if they can learn how to repeat this process, any human could gain the power of one of these relics? Now, another thing I thought of during the episode was, if she only has a fragment of the armor in her, does that mean someone else could have the relic and wield the power at the same time? Or I wonder how that works. Like, could the same power be in two places at once? I guess the relic might have been destroyed, or like the fragment of the relic, I should say, because it's not like a full one. Or was that destroyed back when Kanade died? I'm not sure, but I guess I'm just curious if anyone else got a hold of like fragments of the armor or something. Could this process be repeated with Gungnir again, or can only one person call upon the power at a time, kind of thing? I don't know. Little interesting tidbit that I thought about before, but so Chris is able to wield multiple as well. I think that's what Hibiki was saying, like, are you like me? I think that's what she means, because Hibiki was able to wield Gungnir and then wield Durandal, whereas Chris is now wielding the Nehushtan armor, as well as Ichi Dal, which is Ichi Ball. Sorry, my notes are bad. My B looks like a D because I didn't do the indent for the capital B well enough. Ichi Ball. But yeah, it was a pretty interesting relic. She had a crossbow, which then turned into dual wielding miniguns. Like, what? Goddamn, that's crazy. I loved it though. It was really cool. Granted, as soon as Tsubasa got close range, it was like, well, you know, as soon as she's, you know, can stand within the reach of those guns, you're not going to be able to shoot her unless you can, like, jump back and aim real fast or something, which she tried to do, but Tsubasa was too quick. But yeah, that was crazy. And then Fine showed up and just said, like, basically said, I'm done with you, Chris. You know, we're done. Which sucks, because as we saw last episode, it seems like Chris really relies on, you know, making Fine happy and not wanting to be abandoned by her and stuff like that. And now we're learning that Chris has this idea that if she destroys any human with power and the will to fight, then she might be able to stop war. So we obviously saw her being taken by people with guns and stuff. So is it possible that I imagine her past has to do with wherever she lived being caught up in some kind of war, and that's where she got this desire I don't know. Or maybe it was this war over relics and attuned and stuff like that, because she was marked as like a candidate before, but then she was taken. So maybe she was taken because she was a candidate kind of thing. But either way, she has this concept of thinking if she can defeat anyone with power and the will to fight, then she can stop war from happening, kind of thing. And that's her way of saving the world, which is I knew there was like a good side to Chris, but I think Chris was just naive in thinking that Fine was doing work for the greater good, whereas obviously she gave off, like a Bond villain kind of thing right when we met her. So I just assumed that Chris knew that she was a bad person too. But apparently it seemed like this episode Chris thought she was like they were doing good work, right? But yeah, now she is abandoned by her, and it's funny, pretty ironic that as she's getting abandoned by Fine, she runs into two kids who are without their father and are lost and afraid and alone in the moments where she's lost, afraid, and alone in many ways, So, but yeah, we have Fine using the Kaden gear. She has seemingly her own relic, I imagine. That's what that is. And so far, she is the oldest one we've seen to wield a Symphogear, right? I think. Because I speculated, like, is it only people that are young that can wield it? Because, like, that's the only example that we have so far. But Fine being able to wield it, she's the oldest one we've seen, so it seems possible. But also, she mentioned that now, I don't know how literally to take it. I don't know if it was the chant or partial singing or something in order to summon her gear, or if it was her being literal, but she talked about how she's like immortal and stuff like that. So, and someone else called her the woman of the end or something like that, right? Wasn't that the words that were used? It was when she showed up and they heard the name Fine, and then she said like woman of the end or something. So where was? Hold on. Yeah, so it's Tsubasa, I think, is because that's who it is on. Is thinking Fine, a woman. Oh, a woman called End. I'm sorry, a woman called End. Which I don't know if that's a translation issue on my end. But yeah, that's just interesting. And then we go on like this rant here, I think. We don't need her. I can extinguish the flames of war on my own. Then the curse on humanity will be broken and the world will be reunited as one, right? She's so disappointed. I have no business with you anymore. And then she like, I think that must be the Nehushtan armor that she took. Did she take that? Because like I was trying to figure out what it was that was turning blue and into particles and going back to her, but Chris exploded off the Nehushtan armor, right? And then put on this other gear. And so it seems like she might have recovered the Nehushtan armor, so I wonder if Chris no longer has access to the Nehushtan armor, but still has access to Ichibal. I'm not sure, but I guess that'll be to find out. So, and she also did it through a power of just using her hands, so she has some kind of special power. It seems other than something kind of like Sakurai or unless like she doesn't have her gear equipped and she's still using some kind of power from it. But she might have some abilities, kind of like we saw Sakurai having and Genjiro and stuff like that. If we skip ahead a little bit, what else does she say? Or does she just send things into attack and leaves? I wasn't sure if there was something, and she just jumps off. Okay. I don't think she says anything else. Yeah, and Chris just runs off too. Okay, I just wanted to go back and like see that because some of these, I will say, some of the lines were like really long and they flashed really fast for me. So I apologize for missing a couple things, and this is why I go back and I check at some points. There was also like the really quick flashes of the abilities that she does. Which I don't really know why I'm going back to see. Oh god damn it! I was literally just on it. Crap. Let's there mega. Is that just mega death party? But interesting. Is that what that is? Because it's spelled DETH, right? Not DEATH. Maybe that, once again, is that a translation issue? Or isn't there like another way of spelling death like DETH that isn't? Like, I feel like I've seen like Megadeth. Like, I feel like I've seen that somewhere before. So I'm probably, my first instinct when it comes to anime, because I've seen like there's been a lot of anime I've watched where things are just translated kind of weird. And so that's why, like, one of my first thoughts, like, I'm not trying to, like, accuse the show of having, like, bad translation or anything, but, like, sometimes it's just one of those things where, like, some things get lost in translation and stuff like that, and it happens in other anime, not this one, or not just this one, if it even is, but anyway, like, if I look up DETH, does that pull anything up? Or, let's see. An obsolete form of death. Okay, so it was a word at one point. Interesting. Alright, that's fine. That's all I wanted. So, not entirely false. So, good to know. And then, so the other one would have been before this, right? Because it would have been the crossbow, right? Oh shit, I just had it. God, it flashes so fast. Oh. Okay, no, there was another one right when she pulled out the miniguns. That's what it was. It flashed so fast, I couldn't even pause in time. That's how fast it flashed. That's insane. There it is. Wow, even pause, I have a hard time reading that. That's, what letters are those? Are those supposed to be D's? Is that B-A... What's the other word? Can I read the other word? Wow, that font is so hard for me to read. I don't know why. Madden? Madden football? Madden? I don't know. I actually don't know. It looks like it says M-A-D... Maybe... Wait, is that... I don't know. I have no idea, guys. I have no idea what this is supposed to... The more I look at it, the more confused I get. Like... It looks like it could be B-A-D-D-O-N and then M-A-D-D-E-N. Madden. But it also could be like an M instead of two D's together. But that'd mean it'd say Mammon, and that doesn't really make sense either. So, yep. My big brain hurts. So, I'm just gonna leave that to you guys. I'm sure one of you guys will let me know what that says. You guys have been pretty good about that. I don't think there was another one, right? There was only two. Was there one when she pulled out the crossbow? I don't think there was. So she pulls out the crossbow, and then I don't think there was like a splash art for that one, right? Yeah, she just shoots it. And then it turns into miniguns, and then we start seeing the names. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I failed miserably at going to that. Even if it showed it longer on the screen, I wouldn't have seen it anyway. Apparently. But yeah. Definitely, sorry, one more thing I wanted to look at was at the very end, I wanted to see what exactly she said about herself. She said like she's immortal and stuff like that. So you wore the Symphogear I gave you, yet you are no more useful than a flea. Shall we close the curtains now? I am immortal, my armor eternal. I will live until the stars die. Yeah, so I don't know if that's like a incantation for her armor, or if it literally means she has like gained some form of immortality. If she does have some form of immortality, I wonder if she's been around since the ancient civilization, and if she has, if that is true, I'd be super intrigued because once again, I have like a obsession with wanting to know more about the past in the worlds that I delve into when I'm watching anime and other shows and stuff like that. So like if maybe she could somehow fill in some of like the past and what the other civilization was before this one that created these relics and ways of fighting and everything, I'd be super intrigued. But it also could, like, I'm leaving that possibility up that it could just be an incantation. So it's almost complete. No more use for what little strength you have to offer. I felt like there was one line in here that was, like, really long. I'm afraid you've learned too much. And then attacks her. And is just crazy. And then Chris runs, right? I think. I was so distracted by... Oh. So we don't even know. Damn. Alright. It's... I kind of missed... Like, well, I think I read it, but I didn't really think about the way it ended and the way she said that of, like, I have no more use for you, and then you know too much kind of thing. I didn't really, like, put it together that... I guess I just kind of assumed that we've had so much... I think that was my meta coming in, and I try not to do this, but I think it was part of me, like, we've had so much development on Chris. I don't think she's gonna die yet. So I don't think she's gonna die right here with whatever Fine's about to do to her. I think she's gonna like either jump off that balcony and get away, or she's gonna get blasted by an attack, fall in the water. Fine's gonna think she's dead and she's gonna get away, something like that. But I didn't even think about the fact that we just ended the episode with not even knowing whether Chris is still alive or not. Because it seemed like Fine was about to attack and stuff like that. So, and it seemed like Fine was ready to kill her because she knows too much. Damn. All right. I mean, I hope Chris isn't dead because I like her character so far, and they obviously she's had a rough childhood. We knew that, so that made me sympathize with her a bit more. I feel like you can see a little bit of that humanity in her. More than you can see it in Fine and stuff like that, and then obviously here with her helping the kids find their father, that was like the finishing touch to be like, yeah, like Chris may be a little misguided, but she seems to be a good person at heart. So yeah, very interesting stuff this episode, guys. I am. It definitely felt like one of those ones where I was struggling a little bit more to keep up with everything that was going on between the flashcards coming up for a quarter of a second that I couldn't read, and like the just the different like monologues that went on, that some of them went so quickly I was trying to like process and think about what they meant, and then like 3 more lines went by and I was like, oh shit, like I was reading but kind of, and stuff like that. Like there was just a lot of like info dumping kind of thing in like different ways given to us, so which is fine. I enjoy that stuff, but that's kind of why I had to go back and just make sure that I read things properly, because sometimes I have a bad habit of reading things improperly or just forgetting the things that I read because I'm skimming them so quickly because the lines are going by so fast. That was I watched at the time I wasn't even reacting, and sometimes I'm talking too. I'm trying to talk to you guys and everything, and say what I think about different things while also trying to read, and that also doesn't help things either. But on my own, before I ever started doing reactions, I watched the Monogatari series, and that was one that was like super hard for me to follow along with too because the dialogue just went so quick in that one. But yeah. And then if you like trip up on a word, you have no time to recover. It's like when you're playing Guitar Hero or something, if you guys remember that, and you like miss one note and then you miss like 10, you're trying to like get back on it and stuff. And you just need to kind of like reset, but that's how I am with reading sometimes. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, good episode. I enjoyed it. Hopefully I didn't miss anything else. Really the only thing I'd like to go back on, and I might just do it on my own time, is Sakurai's monologue, because that was another thing where she'd say some stuff and my mind would wander and I'd be like, ooh, what does that mean? What could that be? Oh shit, she's still talking, kind of thing. But yeah. Anyway, that'll be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more from me. Link in the description below, or it should be popping up on the screen. You can see the rest of Season 1 on there, so check it out if you're interested, as well as some other content too. So thank you guys, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.